Our homes, Moorish Blue Clubs clan stomping on lawn gnomes, throwing hip-hop award bricks through rappers' windows. Most hip-hop songs are just commercial jingles. Moorish MC of the year, some say amateur. Our homes, Moorish Blue Clubs clan stomping on lawn gnomes, throwing hip-hop award bricks through rappers' windows. Most hip-hop songs are just commercial jingles. Moorish MC of the year, some and your feelings got hurt. You rapping early and first when skirts like cotton because
it's like full-blown war in the Gideon. Get it wrong, we're coming forth strong like the bit is on. Salute to the God Abaddon. Who they know like iron sheep, giving out the knowledge in the songs and in the streets to the ones that seek. It's the meek will inherit. It's truth, I no ferret. Turn up the speakers, little louder so you can hear it. Don't be fooled by my appearance, how you clear it. Clearing up the record. No, we ain't finished yet. Slaughterhouse for these young rappers who ain't been a thread. I'm bumping all the records to the curb. I'm bringing back the classics. Give me J. Rue, that brass tag shit. I'm bumping MOP and that boot camp click. I'm crushing all these candy rappers. And yo, seeing is believing. I ain't sure that none of you harder than my breakfast, tea and crack.
Moorish MC of the year, some say I'm a jerk. Around to a truth and your feelings got hurt. You rapping early and burst on microphone masters. Moorish MC of the year, some say I'm a jerk. Around to a truth and your feelings got hurt. You rapping early and burst on the skirts like cotton because
the origins of the word Moor. Just let me give you some examples of the word Moor. There was a brother, or a gentleman by the name of Richard Hakluyt. He was a traveler in the 1400s who reported that in the old times, the people of Africa were called Ethiops or Moors or Morens, which means that the word Moor was used for anybody of dark complexion. Like Ethiop means land of burnt faces. Moors meant black. In Spanish, mora is blackberry. Moreno is dark complexion. Moreno also means sweetheart. Mira morena. You know, when you say morena in Spanish, sometimes that means sweetheart. In French, moricard means dark skin. Morillon means black grape. In Italian, mora means Negro or Moorish female. Mora also means blackberry, which when you go to Spanish, mora means blackberry. And then you have moraiola, M-O-R-A-I-O-L-A, which means a black olive. So you have the derivation of the word Moor, so they can't get out of the concept of what the word meant. The word means black. But you see, when you're speaking English, English says that you can say what you want to because you control people's minds. So if you say it, it is.
I see. When I speak, you can't talk unless spoken to. Most sound like records, broken to with no facts. Trust me, I'm not quoting you. Melanin beings do what they're not supposed to. Going against the biological makeup. Instead of shooting sun rays, guns they take up to go against tanks and carriers of aircraft. When I use air, the beast says no witchcraft. When I use fire, speak truth and shut up a liar. If I use earth, I'm calling on fam from the hollow core. When I use water, flow like a tsunami on y'all. Martin Luther told y'all non-violence. He was a warlock, Rosicrucian, handle magic in silence. Been on this continent, living in minus degrees and temp in the plus is where my mind is. Open up your mind, iris. I said it's ISIS. Her son Heru is who the Christ is. Light of the world, watch me enlighten a nerd. In your stomach like the center, I'll frighten your turds. Give you the runs, heighten your blurs with tones and words. Caucus skyscrapers are killing the birds. I'm giving you nerves and my goosebumps tingle your spine. You're listening to Iron Sheik and thinking it's prime. The absolute oils got me not stinking a dime. Can't check enough people's house, man, it's stinking a swine. Many sell out for a deal and sign with ink on the line. Incarcerating your speech for fiat, cars and yachts. Drinking devil's liquids, Henny and yacht. Rappers turn convicts, goddess turn bomb chicks. Niggas yelling fuck the police is nonsense. They got guns by the box and run your streets. Widow your so-called whore after they clap at your throat. Parole not, when caught, the gat didn't blow. I heard stories stories about men putting cock in a bro in the showers, or get guards to leave the wash towers while the gang rape you in a bed of dead flowers. Thousands of brothers, they wore those briefs. Can't think how much semen is on those sheets. Most need to go in strong, not weak. Like my babe brothers, LeBron and Shakur Malik. It's not cool living in the jail cell. Rappers and MCs are liars and the truth they don't tell. Agents using examples of Larry Davis to have you shooting out with pigs from the basement to get caught and then become a killer replacement. Cops crooked like the Abu, plus they lie too. Seeing is believing, believing is fake. They say fuck fruition and have blind faith. They take your collection, won't give it to God. They take your perception and they give it to God. Seeing is believing, believing is fake. They say fuck fruition and have blind faith. They take your collection, won't give it to God. They take your perception and they give it to God. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they real but they too fake. Most act minor but think they too great. Most meet fake just cause they too bait. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they real but they too fake. Most act minor but think they too great. Most meet fake just cause they too bait. Welcome to Scarborough. Youths want cash without tango. Candle magic got me calling on Shango. When I strike, I'm coming from lightning angles. Wet up in your ride like dangles. Know your place. When me and the God step in the place, devils got step in their face. No matter your race, watch your speech. We defend peace with justice. Love for the God make you shit like mustard or run like custard. Too slow, so you know how it go. Set him to assault. I'm not the one to judge you, bro, or judge you, sis. Humanity written from hip to hip, but you're shaking them and not getting your womb equipped. Degrading yourself for women's rights, not saving yourself. Turning a dyke or won't spiritually raise yourself. Waste of sperm, can't even wait to perm. Getting viruses and symptoms, you're thinking it's germs. Making so many mistakes, from none you learn. Seeing your future as the fucking cauldron turn. Ease the burn of your young son's death. Blaming the influences, but never blaming yourself. Drive a shot, but never a crooked cop. Crip shot, but never a racist cop. Racism doesn't exist, so stop. Rex 84, King Alfred got him on the block for chopping. Nigga mortus, abuse ain't stopping. Guns on your shirts, but your pistol's not cocking. Popping and locking, guns jam for 10 you're locked in. Or eternal sleep in a closed coffin. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they real, but they too fake. Most act minor, but think they too great. Most meet fake just cause they too bait. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they real, but they too fake. Most act minor, but think they too great. Most meet fake just cause they too bait. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all. Join the MST. You should hear about birthrights and nationality. For you are not Negroes or what you claim to be. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all. Join the MST. You should hear about birthrights and nationality. For you are not Negroes or what you claim to be. Learn your foreparents' ancient divine creed. Learn your foreparents' ancient divine creed. Learn your foreparents' ancient divine creed. Since 1913 I've been planting the seeds. Enemies planted, agents, I had to leave. I know it was abrupt, but bear with me please. Among the many teaching, man have two selves. These are lower and higher. You want the one that justice breeds. Uplifting the Moors. Be yourself is what you need. Ancient forefather didn't salat on their knees. Not even under his own vine and fig trees. Fell to slavery for abandoning divine creeds. Denationalized since 1774. Now you hurt others with hands, tongues, and thoughts. Confused at the roads when you see them cross. The object of Moor's life is to unfold a course. Islam doesn't teach we were born in sin. If unlimited capacities can be found within, humanity has been left at the mercy of those who in them have no mercy. If only Allah guides the Moorish movement, the faith in your prophet, please don't lose it. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all. Join the MST. You should hear about birthrights and nationality. For you are not Negroes or what you claim to be. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all. Join the MST. You should hear about birthrights and nationality. For you are not Negroes or what you claim to be. coming as he did with a national message. Many disrespect and don't get the lessons. Following the speakers, not the words spoken. Connected to the higher powers, all wires broken. This is our prophet, and there's none left. False prophets point followers to the joys of death. Circle 7 says Jesus, but means Ben Yosef. Where you find Allah, we know the heart is closer. To find a real prophet in these days is rare. Most propagate a faith to have the people in fear. Together we stand, divided we fall. Prophet said, study the Constitution, cause law is all divine and national principle specific. His call to all loyal and faithful Moors is specific. Most made our prophet suffer severely in the past, waving banners with the claims of a national flag. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all. Join the MSTA, Iron Sheik, right with rights and nationality. And you are not Negroes, standing in front Zion gates. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all. Join the MSTA. Heaven's Gate Guardsmen, right for the rights and nationality. When you are not Negroes, Zion Gate Opener, Heaven's Gate Guardsmen, repping for the one open henchman. Zion Gate Opener, Heaven's Gate Guardsmen, repping for the one open henchman. Zion Gate Opener, Heaven's Gate Guardsmen, repping for the one open henchman. Squadron, Mooch was on stage to the crowd. I'm a marksman. Crosshair, your pioneer. My dress shoes are Clarks, man. No sweat on shoes. Rappers just like cowboys. In tight jeans like Aerosmith. My time's now, boy. Y'all been on the mic. Some of y'all fell off the stages. You got the ancients vexed, so they got me on your cases. Got me on the humble. But if you get it twisted, who won't make you crash your car and blast you with spirits? No fear none, no fear none. Ritualistics make rapping dummies limber than some wet biscuits. Rise you like biscuit. Your bank account doubles. For talking arms out and making youths get in trouble. You don't have to believe it. I call it as I see it. Call me Simon. The more carrying the cross for pale Jesus. Zion Gate Opener. Heaven's Gate Guardsman. Repping for the one open henchman out the squadron. Zion Gate Opener. Heaven's Gate Guardsman. Repping for the one open henchman out the squadron. Zion Gate Opener. Heaven's Gate Guardsman. Repping for the IHF and QCLB squadron. Zion Gate Opener. Heaven's Gate Guardsman. Repping for the one open. Yo, handshake dead, man. We all grown up. Lousy doing the art set, won a great cup. Demolition man, a married man, call it royalty. Bending at my lectures, showing their loyalty. Agents try to flop it and bump into Orishas. Give you their nightmares like deep sea creatures. Give you bad karma, cancel karmic credit. If I put your name on it, you wish I never said it. You wish I just said it. You plotted and you schemed. I saw you, visualizing the golden beam. Look through the stargate, a glimpse of the future. Made me see your judgment and tell the thugs not to shoot you. Medallions on string, thinking I'm a cheapskate. Fake wasp get locks cut off like Buddha's beefcake. Fake Nuwapian get slapped with Dark Circle 7 and branded with Noble Drew Ali as a lesson. Zion Gate Opener, Heaven's Gate Guardsman, repping for the one open henchman out the squadron. Zion Gate Opener, Heaven's Gate Guardsman, repping for the one open henchman out the squadron. Zion Gate Opener, Heaven's Gate Guardsman, repping for the IHF and QCLB squadron. Zion Gate Opener, Heaven's Gate Guardsman, repping for the Iron Sheik, MK Ultra, King Alfred, Rex 84. Once all melanites behind cage doors. In front of the idiot box, drinking cores, watching sports. At the picnic, first in line for walks. Can't find your mind, some say that it's lost. Moorish science says divine souls got tossed, abandoned. Love is my ammo, peace is the cannon. Truth is the Ayahuasca talking to the shaman. Freedom is the freedom, justice I must get. Tears fall like a shot with the building muskets. The ruckus I bring, but this ain't Wu-Tang. Hold you accountable, Shimmer Tom takes it two hands. Sent up the frankincense from Sudan. Big up to my elder and the God Moses holding up blue bag. Rainbow flag driving through the loop two cans. Same company got cola in two cans. Different labels, you're navigating L is your label. Makes your rules, watch the God it's not cable. My property, now the rights of the archives paper. Ex-knights now sheiks of the round table. Ancients return to reclaim and learn how to not to succumb to the combustion burn. Astral projecting, as above, so below. So you know off the cosmos we're reflecting. Yo bro, laws of nature, make the sun hate you. Hybrid cockazoid, I'm all pro but not rapanoid. My deep mob, make devil's horn fever. Don't get my Islam twisted with jihad. Don't get the Muslim mixed up with Muslims. Don't mistake the Mufti force for hood. Alright, forget all that stuff. Islam was I just want to say rest in peace. I say rest in peace because these people killed a rabbit. These people killed a rabbit. Used the rabbit as a sacrifice to try to stop what we're doing. If you think this is not real, and you could vouch, but actually, you know what, matter of fact, let's just see if you'll answer right now. But just know that nothing is stopping this. Nothing. This is not Kudro shit. This is not Taj Tariq Bey shit. This is not RV Bay publication shit. This is not Abdullah and Moorish whatever out there and Sabir and whoever else you're looking at. Moors in the world, Moors in court, Moors, whoever they call themselves. This is none of their shit. Allah guides this. So you could fuck around with your little sacrifices and shit like that. But know that Allah guides this. Do you know lightning bolts that you're going to get for doing something like this? Do you know what you're doing to nature? In order to pretend like you're doing some rituals and stopping something. Do you know Grand Sheik Nature dropped a big one in the last class? Do you know? Negative is not negative. European psychology has you thinking negative is not something positive. But we're more scientists. You think you can, do you know this weekend, right? This weekend, I met somebody that is just, I don't know. I can't even call it what it is. But make sure you go support Ma Jade Bay. Mother Ma Jade Bay. She does like some crystal works and stuff. But, you know, those people, back in the day when we were coming up, listening to whoever doing their little lectures, thinking that they're somebody, these people were doing little other kind of lectures, dealing with other types of levels of information that people would say are negative. Oh, thanks to the city of Toronto for coming and picking up the stuff. Because BS. So we know that certain people on certain vibrations, and once you interact with them, you know, it's pretty crazy. So don't ever think that you can test Allah. Ever in your life think that this is some of these YouTube scholar, whoever stuff. They're giving you some information that they got from the secret vault of the freaking shit that you never had to. You're dumbass. You can just check the vault yourself. You're some dumbass to go to Morocco to tell you that we're Moors. Like you're a dumbass. Like these people don't know who the Moors are or some shit. Don't ever think that you could try your BS and stop this. Even if you burn down this fucking place or whatever, we're still gonna be here as Moors. Okay, what you do? Move 9 our shit. We're still gonna be Moors. Black Wall Street us. We're still gonna be Moors. We're not those ones. We're not the punks that said we're gonna be 501c3 and that stuff. We're not those ones. We're not the ones that have something to lose. Because Allah guides this. This is not my stuff. I'm not doing this because I want to do this. I know what the wrath of Allah is. And I'm not getting that. So I'm doing what Nobu Ali said do, and that's that. Keep playing around. Keep playing around. It's only lightning bolts you're going to get. Only. No sun, no wind, nothing. Just lightning. That's all you're going to get. Lightning. One, for disrespecting nature, because that's mother. So just so the world knows, just so the world knows, this is how they're trying to stop us from doing what we're doing. Their little BS rituals, drop a goddamn rabbit at the door. Like we don't know what the ritual is to take away the ritual. We're from the dark arts. What are you talking about? You think we haven't seen this before to know what this is? And then, going back to our ancient foremothers and forefathers, that this is really an animal totem omen. A dead rabbit at your door means something. Go check. Go check. And it's not negative. Like how people are going to say, oh yeah, the rabbit, and it's negative. It's not negative. This is not something bad when you look at it from the right perspective. When you look at it from the right perspective, their ritual really reversed on them. Because they try to play like we don't know.
Yep.
This is not like it's not us Moors that make this what it is. It's not Moors. Allah's guiding this. You cannot stop what Allah has ordained. We told you that it was in the paper in 1920s that Nobu Ali wanted stuff in Toronto specifically. You think you can stop this? What do you think this is? Do you know sacrifices that Moors are making so that ritual works to reverse anybody's stuff that they try? And people tried stuff. People wiped shit on the door at the other temple. People threw rocks through the window. What happened? Got better stuff. Oh, okay. Keep playing. You think we don't got this? Why do you think people all over the world who have nothing to do with Canada or whatever like that, they want to be members of Canaanland Moorish Temple? Because we are own people. We are not a club. Because you pay dues, you think this is a club? This is not a club. You know how many Moors all over the world that we engage? They know that Allah guides this. They know that shit. I wouldn't be whatever if it wasn't for Allah. Not talk about some individual who did something. right? And then all of this now is part of the making sure that the doors are closed. Making sure that it's fortress when it comes to the energies. Like, trust me, we're not playing. There's water already given to the ancestors so that this stuff is gonna, right? And the point of even trying is how we know Allah guides this. We know that Allah guides this. Do you want to say RP? You get killed Bugs Bunny trying to do stuff. Who killed Roger Rabbit? I don't know, but their stuff's not working. But we know Roger Rabbit's dead. We try some rituals. So let's put it out there. You know, as soon as you see the rabbit energy, after today, when you see rabbits, you know what's up. You know who it's for. Remember I told you on Canaanland Mars, the next time you see a rabbit, coincidentally, in the next little while, and it might not be a real rabbit, you know, it might just be a rabbit as a spoon handle. Don't be surprised. Just accept it. There's a lot more. Oh, they're playing. Oh, he's probably on mute. Probably muted.
Definitely was on mute. It's love, boy. But I want to do it right. I want to do it how I learned it.
Oh, it's love, boy.
Yeah, right. All praises to Allah. Give honor to the Prophet Noble Ali. Give honor to the Grand Sheikh and all the Moors who attending class tonight. I learned that from Grand Sheikh Nature's temple the other day. It's a proper introduction. He was very emphatic on it, so I said I got to start doing it now. I got to start doing it before I speak, because that's the rituals that the Moors did with our forefathers. We, gave honors and respect to Allah first, and that was real. That was so real when I had seen that. And I just want to add on quickly when you had brung up when Grand Sheikh Nature brung up the negative aspect and how negative is there's nothing bad about negative. Because as soon as he said it, it reminded, because like I said, I fix on domiciles or whatnot, and I do a lot of things with electricity. So as soon as he said a negative is not a bad thing, I automatically knew that if in electricity, if you don't hook up the negative charge, it doesn't even work. You can have the positive hooked up all you want, but if that negative charge is not hooked up, it's not working. So you have to have the negative charge, and it's a great thing. In electricity, without the negative, none of it works. So it has to have the negative charge, and it's not a bad thing. It will be, what's not hooked up, the negative or the positive. So it's always, they both are the same thing. It's either the positive is not working or the negative is not working. So either way, it can't be looked at as a bad thing. Yeah, I was real glad that he went in on that and broke that down, because they said that the negative aspect represents the woman. But then he broke that down on how the negatives and esoterically doesn't even mean bad. Gender is a modern thing anyway. Like that's modern. Gender, that's Eurocentric thinking. We didn't do that. The whole gender aspect. And nature was breaking that whole thing down. I'm glad you bring that up. Almost slipped my mind, that negative. I mean, it slipped, but I wrote it down. I had a notebook, couple pages of notes, leaving out of the temple. That was a great moment right there. But yeah, the negative aspect, it can't be bad. You have to have the negatives, and that goes back to the scales of my with the balance. It goes the yin and the yang. You know, it's back to negative and positive. It's the same thing. So as soon as he started speaking of it, I already knew where he was going. As soon as I was like, yep, I already know. I already know. Like, and that was a great thing that he brought that up. Because, you know, we do think negative, bad, you know, all the time. But when you're around real chic nature, everything's more science. Everything more is science. Speak with intelligent tone, imitating the prophet. He did everything he was supposed to do. I watched nature do it. It was amazing to see and witness that. It was amazing. It was really amazing. I'm still shocked by everything. Everything was too it's too real. It was a point where real quick, I knew I was I knew it was too much. I wasn't ready for it. When Set and Ra, he went to go use an example, and he asked someone who attends the temple. And, you know, he just asked them, you know, because he said, you were the first person I looked at. He asked them, you know, who do you love the most or whatnot? And, you know, most people would say their children or whatnot. This more said myself and my family. And Set and Ra said, you know, usually when I ask people this question, they always say my children or someone else. They never say themselves. It hit me. As soon as he said that, I said, that's because we in Grand Sheik Nature's Temple. Everybody getting this answer right. Everybody getting everything right in here. That's when I knew. I was like, this temple is not playing no games in here. Like, they're not getting nothing wrong. And I was like, yep, this is really real in here. This is really real. Nobody's getting no answers wrong. None. Everything was correct. And I was like, yo, that's amazing. Amazing. It was plenty of more things. You know what I mean? I just yield the floor for right now.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah. We have to one day this week. We have to do the recap. The recap.
That was crazy.
Yeah, we'll do that. So, the next stop.
To feed on the wisdom in the least of his creation. This is why the psalmist says, ye are all God's children of the Most High God.
Keep in mind, we are taught in the Red Book, the Adept book, the priesthood's dead. Their only purpose is graves and funeral chants. So there has to be a different meaning for the pulpit. Because the priesthood's dead. They don't need to be pulling people in the pulpit anymore. The pit, they don't need to pull them in the pit anymore. People are jumping in the pit themselves. So the priesthood is dead. The priesthood is dead. What is priests around for then? They're still around for. Why are the priests still around? If they're gods, if ye are gods, and the priesthood is dead, then how come 2019 people still have priests?
For chants and funeral homes.
Now, if this is a funeral home or whatever, then who's the dead that these people are doing the eulogy for right now?
Right.
Who's the dead? Everybody got their black on and stuff like that. They're not playing. You know, man came in his almost fez color stuff. No, all you have to do was put on the little fez that he had from the stuff, and then it would have looked. This would be a totally different picture with what he's about to tell you right now. So remember, you saw the stuff of him wearing the fez. Right? Took it out the box, put it on, everybody clapped and stuff like that. All right, so just imagine him with the fez on right now. You already know what the voice is, so you can close your eyes. You don't have to see him. You know how he looks already. Put the fez on him and just listen.
I often wondered as a student of my wonderful teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad,
who was a student of the honorable teacher, the Egyptian adept, Noble Drew Ali. Slide that in there. In case people...
No, boy, you told me to imagine him with his fez on. That's the first thing he says.
And don't forget the Noble Drew Ali part. Don't forget they had the banner and they had Noble Drew Ali on it and everything. So don't remember this. Remember, Noble Drew Ali told these Moors, when you go inside the church, Noble Drew Ali said this. When you go inside the church, it is no longer a church. It becomes a temple. Just imagine him with his fez on right now. Because remember, he has a fez. And we know he has a El or a Bay or something. We know he has something. He might even have an Ali.
Yep.
Don't be surprised if you just, hey, Farrakhan Ali, and he turns around. He turns around, you know you got him. Because we know, just because of the crescent star and moon that was in the sky of the night of the meeting between the Moors and the NOI, they can't even say that it's not real. Ask them about the crescent star in the sky. Now you want to talk about that they have nothing to do with this. This man's up there with the burgundy stuff like the fez. What are you talking about? Or even put the black fez on him if you want to, if you really want it to match.
Right.
Even if you want to put the little sparkly Elijah Muhammad stuff on the fez if you want. I don't care.
Put Elijah's brother next to him too, with his fez on.
With his fez on. And then you might as well bring up Joseph X, aka Yusuf Bey, or bring up his picture, or bring up something, bring him up too. With his fez on. And also the elder who they're always, the ex-FOI more, Melchizedek. He has, there's a picture of him in fez that's out there. All these people know what's up.
But then when you listen to him, different story.
Remember, it's not we're going at something or whatever. We're just saying put Noble Drew Ali in there. Don't just stop at Elijah Muhammad. He had a teacher. What do you mean? You just stop at you're the student and then your teacher is the stop. Hold on a second. There was people before him. What do you mean? He was part of other people's organizations or whatever. That has to be brought up. How's that not brought up? How are you stopping at 1930 when there's stuff going on from 1913? Why the omitting of facts in this venue that this should be talked about? If we are Farrakhan and all that stuff, then we should really be presenting this for, I mean, you're at Saint Sabina and all that. You're in Mecca.
Yep.
You're at the rostrum right now. Why didn't you bring the fez out? And let these people know what's up. It's time right now. Clock's ticking. You already got your birthright. Put these people onto their birthright. Remember, the crescent star was in the sky the night of the meeting. They know this. Why aren't they going there? Telling these people about their birthright. Don't be surprised all these people in the back there, they understand about their birthright. Yeah, oh yeah, especially those Europeans up there. Oh yeah, because not all Europeans are, forgot to put this one in.
I hate the Moor.
Not every European is on that stuff. Not every European. So don't get it messed up.
I often wondered why
Remember, put the fez on them.
we could speak such noble words and live a life so far removed from the noble words that we speak. I looked at the Constitution of the United States of America, supposedly composed by the founding fathers, many of them, of this great nation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equally. My God, what beautiful words. But the same creators of that word, they were inspired by the God of justice. But they could not make those words bond.
No. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm hearing a Moor talking. I'm not hearing some NOI head whatever talking. I'm hearing a national giving a public address to the nation.
Hey,
When I put the fez on him, I'm not here because these people not supposed to be talking Constitution because they're stateless. They're claiming to be black, Negro, colored, African, came here on a slave ship. You're not a citizen of the United States. He's not talking to you. Sitting in the crowd, clapping. He's not talking to you. You're stateless. He's a national. He's speaking to other nationals. That's why he didn't deal with anybody here. He went and dealt with Gaddafi. Because people here are Negroes. The hell am I going to do with these people here other than go to their pulpit and play the BS to keep pacifying these people while using the birthright to go do whatever and propagate the faith of Elijah Muhammad or whatever. Never bring up Noble Drew Ali unless it's some Savior's Day, whatever, like that, parade, whatever. While they have their birthright in the background. And then for the Europeans, they'll call it Freemasonry. Where they're pretending to be Moors. And they don't wear their fez outside. Unless they're doing some type of parade or whatever, some BS. We go to run to the hospital with the fez on and then we're the Shriners. We're here to... They're saying they're Moors. Doing your humanitarian work.
right. Uplifting fallen humanity.
Uplifting fallen humanity to the point where has their statue and logo and whatever with the man holding the cripple. The Freemason holding the cripple, uplifting fallen humanity. The same stuff with Noble Drew Ali. They just replace the woman with a boy.
I'm a universal prophet. I just came to you more because you needed me the most. He told you I'm a universal prophet. Quick question, girl. She too.
Yeah,
quick question. You see how he mentioned Constitution.
Yep.
Right? And then says the line, and says that it's a great line and whatnot. Why? Where's the? Oh, that's the white man document people that he said it. He just said that's the Constitution. That's a great line or whatever. Why ain't nobody, targeting Farrakhan for saying the Constitution? Suze Moore said, "Oh, that's the white."
Oh, that's the white man's whatever. Yep. Yep. Nobody said a word bringing up the Constitution.
He mentioned Constitution. Suze Moore said, "Oh, that ain't got nothing to do with us." I don't have people come up to me. They ain't got nothing to do with us. I'm looking at them like okay, cause that's the white man's whatever. But but when Farrakhan said, crowd cheering,
everything's cool. Yeah. Yep. And then when we put a fez on him, they're gonna be talking about but he's not a Moor. And then we put a setner on him, regardless whether he has a fez on or not. He's a Moor.
Right. Exactly.
If your fez is in the back, in the bottom of the whatever, you're trying to hide the fez because you don't want anybody to know that you're still a Moor. Stop playing around with people.
He can't be. What is he? Pale Arab?
Is
that what you're saying? Then?
Negro
If he's not
dude.
a Moor, you're saying he's Pale Arab or a Mason. Which one? What are you saying that he was doing just now? He knows what he got that fez on for. He was showing he was a Moor. Other words, you're saying what? You're a Pale Arab or a Mason.
Putting it on the record.
Other two options.
Putting it on the record.
That's the only two options you have is those other two. Shriner, they tell you all the time, are you a Shriner? They say that all the time.
Yep.
And he clearly didn't say he was a Shriner. Yep. He argue all day that Pale Arab stuff, that's not them. They no.
Yeah,
so
fezzes come from the Turks and all that stuff, but they're not saying that about Farrakhan's fez, though. They're riding with him.
Oh, wow.
He can have a fez in secret, and that's cool. You're not gonna say anything to him. But Moors have a fez on. Oh, it's Arab stuff and it's bucket hat and all that stuff. How come you're not calling his stuff a bucket hat?
On the side,
he has a fez. He has a fez. How come you're not calling his stuff a bucket hat? Because you're a punk, that's why.
Right.
Because you're just a priest follower. Chasing the priests. How come you're not talking to him like Brother Yusuf said? He brought up the Constitution. That's the white man's document, according to the black guy.
But he said it. If you rewind it, he said it. Supposedly, he said it. Yeah. That's a Moor talking. She said that's a Moor talking. As soon as he said it, he said supposedly from the founding fathers
to be of the Most High God. I often wondered as a student of my wonderful teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I often wondered why we could speak such noble words and live a life so far removed from the noble words that we speak. I looked at the Constitution of the United States of America, supposedly composed by the founding fathers, many of them, of this great nation.
I told you. There's some more talking.
To be self-evident that all men are created equal. My God, what beautiful words.
What beautiful words, she
But
said.
the same
They were beautiful
creators
words.
of that word, they were inspired by the God of justice. But they could not make those words bond. That we all should enjoy life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And to that end, governments are formed with the consent of the governed. And here we are today. Some of us could not come out tonight because they did not wish to be censured by those who presently have power to censure. But that power is gradually being taken from you. And I am so grateful to God that He made me an instrument to bring that end of your wicked system of injustice away.
You gotta be telling people about their birthright. Stop playing. That's what you're the spokesperson for. Tell these people about their birthright. You got yours. If you don't have yours as far as a card or papers or whatever, you have it in consciousness. I know that. Playing around with people. Who's just tell them about that this is their birthright. It's not you have some secret key and you're gonna save the people from the wicked beast system that's gonna, what are you talking about? That was done in 1913 when we got our birthright back. So the point where I want to say again, Islam to the elder. Right to travel video, 5,000 views right now.
Ain't mad at that right now.
5,000 views. And remember, all the people, when you go through the comments and you see all the haters in there that are European, these are them, these ones.
I hate the Moor.
Those are the ones. Watch those ones in the chat. Watch those ones, right? And you have to watch these ones too. These fake, these fake Moroccans.
Oh man.
Break down your boy right now. I'm pulling it up right now. Hold on, I'm just trying to.
Okay. You got the article?
I'm about to try to pull it up right now. It's playing around though. All right, more. American man in Pennsylvania uses Moroccan flag to resist police officers. A passionate man at the wheel of a truck in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, drapes Moroccan flag out window, and cites American-Moroccan peace treaty of 1787 as a reason to resist ticket. By Morocco World News. By Morocco World News. They have the picture of the elder with the flag and one of the highwaymen there. Yeah, Mark.
Yes, well. Now, you gotta give me 1 second with the, because I want to pull it up on the thing, because I know I sent you the email. Okay.
You have the email here, so you can just.
All right.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, because if you go to Google, you can go to Google and type in Moroccan World News, and it'll tell you. All right.
Yeah, I do
Moroccan
that.
World News.
Yeah.
Right. Because I don't want to, because they can look it up themselves too. But Moroccan, it'll tell you. Moroccan World News, its headquarters is located in New York. That's not Morocco over there. The headquarters are in New York. Like, that's major. Like, you can't call yourself, like, you just, and then you make it seem like you're over there in the kingdom, and they're, like, because when the Grand Sheik, when when we get the document, you're thinking, oh, they're over there with this, talking about the Moors over here, and then you're like, when you look up Moroccan World News and where is it located, it's in New York. So what's going on? And then when you look up the co-founders of Moroccan World News, you got the
yeah,
keeping on there.
Yeah, I got it up there. Yeah.
All right.
Say the name.
It says it, right?
Yeah.
That its headquarters is in New York.
Yeah.
And all right, so the two co-founders, I think they're brothers, and his last name is Benes. Both of their last names are Benes, and so it's like Samaria. I think they got it in the document right there that you got up there. They got their names in there.
Mm. Yeah, I got the names.
Moroccan World News co-founder. You probably can Google that too.
Yeah. Yeah, Samir Benes and Adan Benes.
Okay, they got their picture there?
No.
Okay.
Was it on Wikipedia?
Well,
what was it on the site?
Maybe if you just click images, they will usually show them. If you put their name in the Google search, it'll show them.
All right. Yeah, okay, there's one right there. All right.
Yeah,
go
okay.
Ahead,
my thing is, I was telling the Grand Sheik earlier, he has to prove to me that he's a Moor. Because that doesn't look like a Moor. To what all the documents and all the thousands of videos the Grand Sheik done put out, we know who the Moors are. Like, we see it, all the, Brother Sheldon went to all over Europe, showed us all the black Moor statues. They show you who the Moors are.
Mother Khalifa been all over.
All over, showing us the documents, showing us the art, everything of who the Moors are. And then all of a sudden, this Venice guy is saying that, like, questioning, like, of were Moors in his article.
Yeah.
And then his whole article was colored, saying, Pennsylvania, that's, like, Pennsylvania exists. Like, he's going with the Spanish Inquisition. As soon as he's saying all of those names exist, and in the document, he even calls them. It says looks like an African American. I said, what do you mean looks like an African American? Like, because he plays the game. Because he knows that he's
an imposter. He knows he's an imposter right now.
Right. And that's my whole thing. And I'm like, okay, but You got to bring it back again. Moroccan World News headquarters is in New York. Like, let's not forget that. Like, you have to remember what's going on. And the dude, and then Moroccan World News, then it started in 2011. It's brand new. This guy is this whole thing is brand new. It's not, he's been around forever, and they know about him. They know about him. They know about Morocco, because Morocco World News would sound like something that's been around forever. 2011.
2011.
2011. Moorish been around. This Johnny Come Lately, who establishes his stuff in 2011, writing articles about us 8 years later. That reminds me of all these people who go to so-called black scholars and stuff like that, asking them about Moors, and they not Moors. You gotta ask a Moor about who a Moor is. He's not a Moor. And you know, because we study his background, he went to school here. He went to school here. He got his education in the so-called here with the United States. We know General Education Board philosophy. Once you go check that up and Google General Education Board and their philosophy, he didn't never get an education. His whole background is Spanish Inquisition. That's what they teach here. That's what they teach and promote here. That's their history. They make it, and for some reason, they make it seem like colonization didn't happen, and Pennsylvania is really a place now.
Right.
like they just skip over colonization, and Pennsylvania is a place.
Yeah, they're with the game.
That's the Spanish Inquisition. If he wants to be, that's a Morisco. That's the Ferdinand and Isabella people right there. If anything, and then Venice, right? Because listen, am I pronouncing it correctly?
Yeah, Venice.
Now, when you do the family crest of the Venice family, I want to read it. Hold on. I think I sent you I emailed it to you.
Email it? Okay. Yeah, but there was no there was no subject, so I don't know which one is which one.
Oh, okay. All right. It's Venice, right? Venice,
Yeah.
Benis.
Okay, yeah, there it is. I got that one. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, last name Venice.
Right.
This famous surname, one of the earliest recorded in history, and recorded in over 200 spellings from Benedict, Benek, Benis, and Bennett to Banish, Bayansovich, and Vediasov, derives from the Roman personal name Benedictus, meaning blessed. You want to read more?
Yeah, I want you to shoot. I really want the second paragraph. Read this right underneath the commercial. It says it became popular. You see it there? I can read it.
Okay. Oh yeah, okay. It became popular as a personal name for all the members of society only after the famous crusades to the Holy Land in the 12th century, when it became the practice of returning soldiers or pilgrims to call their children after saints or prominent members of the early church.
See that? It was a practice for returning soldiers. The name, it was a popular or a personal name for all members of society only after famous crusades to the Holy Land in the 12th century. See, so it wasn't a consanguinity appellation. It was a popular name. for it was like more, it's like a verb, like it was an action, like Hebrew.
Yeah, it was that. Yeah. And then it became. Yeah, and then it became a name after.
You know what I mean? It was an action. It's not in that, but I wanted to show it. Like, okay, call their children after the saints or prominent members of the early church. These personal names became surnames over the next 2 centuries. They didn't become surnames to the next 2 centuries. To the next 2 centuries. The first surnames being recorded in England. See? Now, this Venice guy you're looking at, that's the Englishman. Who speaks Arabic.
Right.
See that? That's inquisitional practices.
Yep. And looks like a pale Arab.
Exactly.
But he's really European stock.
That's an Englishman.
Modern Englishman. Modern Englishman. And then
modern Englishman.
Also too, if this comes from, if Venice comes from Benedict and Benedict the Moor, and then Benedict wasn't even really a name, then that saint's name was really the Moor.
Exactly.
Because Benedict's a fraud too. There's no such thing as that.
Yep. And that's who was coming back from their pilgrimages, which is the Hajj.
Yep.
Which is the Hajj. They were coming back from the Hajj. Who was coming back from the Hajj? The Moors. The Europeans were calling them saints coming back. Benedicts. Venice. It was an action. They looked at like you did something high, of good. You went on, because that's what it was. You went on your Hajj.
Yeah.
Now, two centuries later, after 2 centuries later, that's the other thing. Venice is not tied to a consanguinity. It doesn't tie you back to a bloodline. It's a popular name. It doesn't even tie you back to a people. It doesn't even tie you back to a people. That's a problem. The true people on the earth, that's why you have to be Days, Els, Als, Alis, and Days. That's the true people on the earth. That's it. Once you start running these people's titles back, it doesn't come back to the Moors. And that's who runs that's who the people of the planet are, the Moors. A Norman shit.
Yep.
And that's who put this article out. 2011 guy. Dennis.
Johnny come lately. Trying to talk crazy about the elder who was just standing up for his right. What's the problem? He was standing up for his constitutional right.
Right.
Same thing Farrakhan was talking about constitution and stuff like that. Come truth that it's self-evident that all men be created equal and all that stuff. Wasn't he created equal because he put his flag out and he said that, I have a nationality.
Yep.
I'm not Negro. I'm not you guys' ward.
I'm not 3/5 of a person.
I'm not 3/5 of a person. I'm not a 14th Amendment citizen. I'm not African American. I'm not Negro, black, colored. I'm a Moor.
That stuck with me when Nature mentioned it. He was like, the Negro colored is the 3/5 of a person. I said, I've heard that before, but the way you said it, that's gonna stick with me forever.
Gave it a different ring.
The Negro colored is the 3/5. I said, and that's what he tried to put him in. Called him, I think, in the article, tried to seem like he don't know. Like, it looks like an African, like, come on, African American, like, come on, man. That's Spanish Inquisitional terms. That's practices changing, like Dr. Jose Pineda Bay. Why get rid of the Moor? Why not just leave Moor?
Yeah.
Soon as they did, that's the Spanish Inquisition. This guy just called the Moor African American in his document. That's Spanish Inquisition practice.
It's right here. One must then assume that the reason for an anonymous, self-identified Moor's refusal to comply with the police is that he believes himself protected by the King of Morocco. There are several problems with this interpretation, though. The clause is about protecting American citizens should they appear before the King of Morocco. This man, however, is claiming to be a Moor. Secondly, it is uncertain whether he has been in the presence of King Mohammed of Morocco. King Mohammed VI of Morocco.
That's all colored.
Colored. Because we're not dealing with kings. We're not dealing with kingdoms. They're telling you that he's talking about the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. Right? They're seeing His Majesty in the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, and they're talking about a king. His Majesty is in the treaty is emperor.
not the king. You just made that up.
There was no king of Morocco when the Treaty of Peace and Friendship was established.
Nope.
Because that wasn't a kingdom that they were dealing with. That wasn't some people who got the flag in. How the people who got a flag in 1956? Hold on a second. So either they did the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, or they did Back to the Future.
Right.
For the 1956 guys to be the ones that the treaty were established with.
Like how? As a French protectorate.
A French protectorate.
That's
1700s, when the French couldn't even get a boat in the water. What do you mean protectorate of what? What do they protect? They needed protecting. How are they a protectorate during the time of the treaty?
Right. How you protectorate paying tribute? He was paying tribute. Paying annual tribute to the Moors. Paying ransom to the Moors.
Another mystery is in the treaty itself. If one were set free by the king, does this entail the right to resist the American police? If not, what does the document actually mean by the word liberty? Forget liberty. What American police?
Exactly.
What do you mean American police?
They don't even
What's
call
that?
themselves that.
What's that? They don't even call themselves that.
That's bugging me out. I've never heard that. I'm like,
yo, these are the new SPLC.
Yep.
These are the new SPLC. The imposter Moroccan Americans, because really that means the American. What do you mean? Are you American? What are you talking about?
Right.
The only American Americans are on your Moors.
Right.
All these people are foreigners. This is why Noble Drew Ali said, don't let these foreigners come and stand on your rostrum. They'll tell you some BS.
Yep.
Telling you about some king of Morocco with the treaty of peace and friendship. What king are you talking about? If a man says sultan, how is that equal to king?
I don't even know where that came from. Because they promote that over there, that king stuff. Well, not even. You know, he got his studies here. So it's a lot of that modern...
That European psychology.
Yep.
That European psychology is going to be the foundation of the scholarship.
Yep.
Which this is also evident in some people who call themselves Moors. And they're talking just like these people against this. They're saying that this is not the flag.
Yes.
Moors.
I sent you
Moors with Bays and L's are saying that the red flag with the green star is not the Moorish flag.
That's insane.
Moors.
That's crazy.
And you know, when we get to them, we might have to even give them the we know how they do. They do like
I hate the Moor.
They hate their birthright. They hate their birthright so much. They hate the prophet. I don't know why. He never did anything to them. But they're going to tell you the red flag with the green star, that's an imposter flag. That's from the French. What? The French don't have a red flag with a green star? What French Moroccans? What is that? That's even colored. French is a language. What are you talking about?
Right.
You're worse than the Hebrews.
That's not French. That's Gaul.
You calling yourself a language? I'm French. How are you French? That's a language. In simplest terms, this video is of a man who believes he has legal immunity, all due to his misinterpretation of the Moroccan-American Peace Treaty. Moroccan-American Peace Treaty signed over 2 centuries ago. Okay, so we're talking about the same stuff. Because the treaty wasn't Treaty of Peace and Friendship between Morocco, not Moroccan, Morocco, because it's a nation.
Mm-hmm.
And then the nation is part of an empire. So Morocco is who established this peace treaty. But it wasn't with some American. American is the Aboriginal Indigenous Coppertone people. Who those dummies now, they call themselves Indian and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And Black Indian and Cherokee and all this stuff, when they're American. Which is Al-Moroccan.
Right.
Because over here is also Morocco. Over here is also Morocco. So these individuals who saying over there are Moroccan Americans and all this stuff, and they came over here and now they're living over. No. Their name is Benis. They're not no Moroccan American. They're European. These are the same slanders in a different suit. The same slanders in a different suit.
Mm-hmm. Islam, Grand Sheikh.
Islam war.
I just want to add on, because the blasphemy that they put on the Moors, is because of what the Prophet did. Because the Prophet told us, the reason these lessons have not been known is because the Muslims of India, Egypt, and Palestine had these secrets and kept them back from the outside world. The Prophet brought that back to us. He got them secrets and brought them all back over here. That's why they mad at the Prophet. They mad at everything that goes on with Noble Drew Ali's teachings.
Mm-hmm.
Because he exposed all the secrets that he told. Why? Because we want to know why. How come we didn't get these lessons? And the Prophet told us, "Oh, your brothers,
Brothers from the
your
east,
brothers
held back your stuff." Oh yeah.
It was like they didn't want us to know that.
Oh yeah, and when we're speaking about what stuff, remember, well, just remember, I'm just putting up the more right now, the MAUR. Just remember, the name of the land is Tamore, which has a dual meaning. One, the land of Amen-Ra, the actual longitude and latitude of the geographical landmass, and two, the physical human body. The Moors, Maurs, Moors, who settled in what is called Tennessee, Nubia, a province of Abyssinia, set up a school structure of science, language, law, mathematics, government, astrology, astronomy, military, alchemy, physiology, geometry, etc. These were your netter, so-called gods. The Moors, a complete nation of high priests, knew that highest knowledge was to know that man and creation are one and the same, referring to the essence as Heru Ura, Allah, God, prana, chi, ki, energy, the life source that lives in every vibration of the omniverse. The oldest definition of the word more, remember all vowels are interchangeable, means the netter amen, the hidden one, the soul embedded in the pineal gland. As well, it means high priest. Tamare, Egypt, is actually a remnant of that which came from Lemuria, Mu, and Atlantis, even Sumeria, as an extension of Tamare. After experiencing the collapse of the previous empires, the Moors high priest developed a caste system where they, in the sight of the everyday person, maintained the science of the true self and filtered it to a select few who had to be initiated into the mystery system. Moors high priest coded the sciences of self in mythology, no longer unveiling the so-called mysteries to the profane. Now the science could only be veiled to those who were elected. 2500 BC, 2401 BCE, Palermo Stele. The term Moor means high priest to Anu. This also shows that the Sumerian god Anu was originally worshipped in Egypt, for it is simply another name for Ampu. Note, Moor is also a title, meaning it is a position of achievement. Esoterically, the achievement is the supreme activation of the pineal gland, the crown chakra, Kundalini Shiva 7, etc., by the mother principle called Kundalini Shakti, Shekinah Sekmat, or Uacheta, Uraeus Caduceus. The high priest of Anu is another form of Amen and is the same as the biblical high priest order of Melchizedek. Dr. Joseph Ben Yakinen verified this by being a 32-degree international Freemason and a member Grand Potentate of the Crescent Shrine located at 700 Highland Drive, West Hampton, New Jersey 08060. Dr. Ben was also the founder and high priest in the craft of Amen-Ra and held the title rank of 360-degree Grand Master in the craft of Amen-Ra African Mystery System. Not some European BS. And what do they got to do? They got to wear the fezzes. Because they had to be Moors in secret.
Yeah.
Because just like it's not, everything was said. After experiencing the collapse of the previous empires, the Moors developed a caste system where they, in the sight of the everyday person, maintained the science of the true self and filtered it to select few who had to be initiated in the mystery system. Remember, we're talking about the high priest of Anu right now. The ones who had the info, kept the info safe from the dumb public, and those who were proven got initiated into the mystery system to learn all the stuff. The ones who prove that they're ready to be Moors. Remember, they filtered it to a select few. These are our ancient foremothers and forefathers we're talking about. I think all these individuals who are in certain positions are Freemasons in the background. Because they have to pretend to be Moors.
Yeah. Islam, Grand Sheik.
Islam, Moor.
Do they have the symbol for Moor in the hieroglyphic dictionary?
Yeah. The thing that looks like a sickle and then the owl, I think.
Or the owl, right?
Or some type of bird.
Okay. It's all right. In the book, right? I want to add on because so the symbol for Moor, according to the hieroglyphics, would be an owl. The mysteries of the Mexican pyramids, right? Just the mysteries of the Mexican pyramids. That's over here, right? It says, here it says, Lepogion, the Queen of Mu, is no longer a child. He's describing a picture, but a commonly young woman seated under the royal umbrella, accompanied by a suitor. She is consulting a priest or an H-man whose face is concealed by an owl's head. So now this is a priest that she is consulting with. We just talked about the high priest of Anu.
Yeah.
The symbol for it is the owl. The priest of the Mexican pyramids, who Queen Mu was consulting with, his face was the face of an owl. The mask that he had on was an owl. That's a Moor. It's the that's the thing. And he's a priest. Like how that's the symbol, like that's the Moor. That's over here. That's the Moors over here. I just wanted to compare that to make sure people know, like, we're still talking about Moors
Still
over
talking
here.
about Moors. You're still talking about Moors. There's no escaping it. We'll just do a quick one here. What page was it again? You got anything? Oh, no, yeah, here it is. Are you in denial of your ancestry? By R.V. Bay. Page 14. The people in North America the people in the North American continent who have melanated skin are in a serious search for their true identity, which can only be found through heritage, history, and law. Some, through their studies, have found the days of the more pleasant time, stories of the land of milk and honey on this continent, and they want to present information from the frame of reference only. No doubt we need to know all of our history and get back to living in harmony with nature as we are natural beings. But as life goes, we must take the bitter with the sweet. So you could be in denial all you want. That's that bitter that you're going to gladly take. Remember, people think negative is whatever. So you have it so twisted that you're actually enjoying the bitter.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Face squeezed up and everything, and you're still taking it.
Islam, Green Sheet.
Islam more.
That remind me, right? So I'm watching this. They got this. I don't know. Maybe Morris might know of it. It's a cartoon show called Ninjago, right? My son, you know, he watches it. It's called Ninjago, and there was a part in it where they got lost, right? All the ninjas is lost, and the brothers, the other three, are like, you know, trying to figure out how they're gonna get out. The fourth one, he lost it. He started going crazy. But his thing was he started enjoying himself. He started enjoying the turmoil that, now mind you, they're stranded. They can't get home. He's picked up a blank piece of bark and he's acting like he's playing video games. He's like, oh, unlimited lives, like shaking it and stuff like that. And it reminded me of what you just said, enjoying the turmoil. Like they're acting like they've been going through it so much that they're enjoying it now. Like he got so used to, you know, oh, we're just stranded, we're not going home, that he went crazy. He started enjoying himself. Like he started walking around in circles like, it's not that bad as you think, guys. Like, look, like they're panicking. Like, what are we doing? Sweating, and he's just, you know, rose petals and good music, and like they're starving to death and everything. And he's like, he's enjoying the turmoil so much that he's gone crazy. Yeah. But and that's what I was like. When you said that, I'm like, because they've gone crazy. They're gone insane. Yeah. They don't even know it. They thinking it's just regular.
Right.
They enjoy it so much.
It's normal to be stateless.
They think it's just normal for you to just be bleeding like that. Yo, you bleeding. Like, no, this my shirt. No, brother, you bleeding. I don't know what you talking about. Like, but they think it's just normal. Yeah. Like, you crazy. They think it, because they've been going, it's the same thing every day. Every day. They going through it so much that they're enjoying the turmoil now. That's incredible that you said that. And that cartoon I just watched, I was like, oh, this boy's going crazy, man. Like, how he enjoying this? And because you've been going through it so much, you know, now it's just, what else you gonna do? You gotta enjoy it. Yeah, I feel the needles in my feet, but it's every day so much that now, it's a massage. No, there's needles in your feet. Now you thinking, because you done went through it so much, it's a massage. Because you done went crazy. Crazy.
Shit.
That's crazy. That's just insane how that goes, man. That's insane that you bring that up. I was bugging me out.
Is that real? This was up here. Oh yeah, there was a couple more parts in this.
And a few hours later, but not tonight, not tonight. Listen, family. To my Christian family here, the Bible teaches you, as by one man, sin entered into the world, death came also because of sin. So all men have sinned and death has passed to all men. But Adam's time was limited. It's the time now for the rise of the people that are the original people of our planet. Doesn't mean white people have to go someplace. It just means now is our time. And
You're not talking to them.
He's not talking to them.
Remember, he has a nationality. Whether he naturalized, nationalized, went to some other nation, whatever. He has a nationality. He's not Negro, black, colored. And again, there's people who are in there that have B's and L's. But why aren't they in the public? It was a fluke that I found out that Joseph X was Yusuf Bey. And then when I seen some NOI and they're like, yeah, that's Yusuf Bey. He changed his name like whatever. And they said we're telling dates and shit. I'm like, hold on a second. So you guys know what's up? You playing around your ex? What's your, yeah, I'm 15X or whatever. So how you X and he's a Bey and you're not looking at stuff weird? Well, you know, they got to get their degrees, and because they got their degrees, they can. So they passed some tests, and then that's how they got to be L's and B's. And you're just X forever. You could never get your stuff. You've been in there 20, 30 years or whatever. You can't get your stuff. You're still X. Or are you people fronting? Are you a front piece? And all these people got L's and B's in the background. Because they're strict. So it could be some strict stuff where they're telling them, hey, you make sure you say your X when you go out there.
Right. Like you can't, like you only can wear your fez to the temple.
Right, like you could only wear your fez to the temple.
Yep. Same thing. You can be B's and L's in here.
since it is our time, then you have to be honest with yourself and look at how you ruled. You did not rule and grant us freedom or justice or equity. You wanted to take God's place. So you had us call you Massa. And if we rebelled against you, you beat us nearly to death, or you would kill us. Because God is supposed to be obeyed. But now we are waking up and we're not prone now to obey you in foolishness. In the book of Thessalonians, it says, that day, what day? The day of judgment, when everybody has to reap what they have sown. If you don't like the fruit that you are getting, look deeply into what you have sent forth. Justice don't have nothing to do with color. You lay down with justice, and you wake up with justice.
I tell you, just close your eyes, put the fez on them. Just close your eyes, put the fez on them.
Have sown. If you don't like the fruit that you are getting, look deeply into what you have sent forth. Justice don't have nothing to do with color. You lay down with justice, and you wake up with justice. Justice does not sleep. It's the recording angel of your deeds. So no matter if you can beat the court with a good lawyer, who's also maybe a good liar.
Oh, wow.
You can get off, but not with God. Not in his season. Not at his time.
Remember, we're Moors. That same stuff we're telling with the Roger Rabbit killers. That you're playing around with Allah? You really playing around with Allah? Noble Ali told us that Allah guides this. This is some stuff we're making up. You can't get by Allah. You think you got away doing some slick stuff. You can't get away from Allah. You got anything else to add on more? I think there was like a couple more parts of this.
No, I'll hear the floor for right now.
All right.
Oh, Islam.
Yeah, more.
I do remember. Because every time he says the word justice and his metaphor with it, it just reminds me too, because you keep saying, look at him with a fez on. Metaphorically speaking, we also do know that justice, Jesus is the code word for justice.
Yeah.
So like a lot of metaphors that he's breaking down using the word justice, I'm like, man, that sounds, metaphorically, like you can put a man in that image, right? Jesus, his actions into that justice actions that he's using, metaphorically speaking.
And that's the same. And that's the same. That's the same thing as the high priest maintaining the science of true self, because he told them that ye are gods.
Yep.
Right, and then now he's just filtering it out to those who are on the level. Right.
Now look at this. God's coming is after the workings of Satan. Many of us don't even know we're followers of Satan, thinking that we are the followers of Jesus Christ.
Right, same thing you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Now we switch.
Mm-hmm.
Now we switch back for the layman's.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Discipleship will cost. Are you willing to pay the price? See, Jesus said they hated him first. So if you really, listen to me good, are a disciple of Christ, why ain't they evil speaking of you? Who really are we? God called you to preach, you go downtown and get a license. What the heck is that?
What? He can't say all of that. First he said, who are we?
Yeah.
First he said, who are we?
Let me rewind it.
Are you willing to pay the price? See? Jesus said they hated him first. So if you really, listen to me good, are a disciple of Christ, why ain't they evil speaking of you? Who really are we? God called you to preach, you go downtown and get a license. What the heck is that?
They're all quiet though. You see these men in the back all funny? You see how they switch up in the back? You see how they switch up in the back?
Yep. Yep.
See, they're all sitting comfortable now. Watch all the moving in the seat now. Watch the moving in the seat.
A disciple of Christ, why ain't they evil speaking of you? Who really are we? God called you to preach, you go downtown and get a license. What the heck is that? You can't stand up on God's calling. You got to go and get approval from somebody downtown that don't believe in Jesus but is giving out license.
And Jesus is justice.
Remember, the priesthood is dead.
Yep.
The priesthood is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get caught up with the guy at the podium. Did you get the lesson? Did you receive the message that the priesthood is dead? Why are you going downtown to get a license to do the work of God? Why is it that you're claiming about the liberation of the people, but your liberation, whatever, is registered with the same people you're talking BS about?
Right.
And then you're getting all type of benefits and stuff like that. And then Washington Examiner doing exclusive about Nation of Islam receiving federal cash to teach at the prisons.
That's a total contradiction.
Which, I mean, come on now. If you're talking about some reasoning behind getting the funding because these people are a fraud and they have certain obligations under the UN Declarations of Rights of Indigenous People, and you're talking like that and they tell you here's some finance, okay, that's different. We're just going to them just to go get some contract with them to be funded to go and do humanitarian work. How are you getting funded to go do? The people in the prisons are not doing nothing anyways. You're not bothering them anytime you go there. It can be so easy that you set up a something right next to the spot where you don't got to be driving up and down the place if you're gonna have some contract with them. You man, everybody's playing their little game, little finance game, so they can be all right while you suffer. And these people know in the background that they're Moors and all that.
They're angry with me because I exposed their hatred of Jesus. In the Talmud, they say it has been written in the Babylonian Talmud that Jesus is in hell boiling in excrement. That's right. Now, when they tell you I teach hate, you better find some testicles. If you don't have any, Walmart's has a. Just a little levity. It's going to take courage to ask a question. Did you say that Jesus should be boiled in excrement? Ask them. Then come back with this question. See, in this church, don't you say, Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us now? Yes, sir. Amen. And at the hour of our death, pray for us. Holy Mother Mary. Yes, sir. I've been to Baptist churches, and the pastor would not allow his own mother to come up on the speaker stand. And I asked him, I said, tell me something, Reverend. If the mother, now, do the research. They hate the mother of the greatest life to ever come to earth. The life of the Messiah is a prostitute, according to the Talmud. Yes, sir. Correct. Now, do the research. They hate me because it's written. I didn't realize I was going to fulfill it. It is written. God's coming is after the workings of Satan, whom God will consume with the spirit of his mouth on the brightness of his coming. Read it. It's this that they fear. I don't have no army. I just know the truth. And I'm here to separate the good Jews from the satanic Jews. Yes, yes, yes! This is just the beginning. Banning me from a social platform. That's right. I use that platform with respect. That's right. I never allowed those who follow me to become vile as those who speak evil of us. So I am dangerous. Not to you, unless you feel that Father Pfleger's invitation to me may hurt Saint Sabina. They don't have the power to hurt Saint Sabina if you don't give them that power. I thank you for listening to me. I have not said one word of hate. I do not hate Jewish people. Not one that is with me has ever committed a crime against the Jewish people, black people, white people, no matter what your color is.
No, there he goes. There he goes. I just wanted to let you hear a little bit of that so you can know that they know what's up. Know that they know what's up, especially with regard to this nationality and birthright. You had anything for that last little bit that we watched?
Yeah, because it hit me too. Like once you said earlier, don't be fooled by the man on the podium.
Mm-hmm.
Because once he started talking once you started listening, I said, yep, he's in preacher mode. He's still preacher guy. He still does the emotional preacher, alley-oop. I got a punchline and then it's going to come in and get the crowd to ooh and ah. They still line up those, noticing him doing that, like, he's still, because the whole thing, like, he said all of that, but you didn't say we were Moors. You still played the game of selling your people back into slavery. He didn't say the whole thing. That's why it's kind of interesting you said you got to picture him in the feds, because you put him in the feds, he's okay. He don't really got to mention it because he got his feds on.
Well, check this one right before, because when you hung up, this played before you hung up. So let me just play this for you, and then you could just go right back to what you were saying. Play these seconds for you.
I have not said one word of hate. No, sir. I do not hate Jewish people. Not one that is with me has ever committed a crime against the Jewish people, black people, white people, no matter what your color is.
Yeah. Exactly what you're saying. I think you're muted.
Oh yeah, yep, exactly. But him saying, that he never committed a crime, Is he crazy? Selling your people into slavery is the highest crime. That's treason. That's treason. Telling your people, calling your people black, straddling the fence, because you can get a video with him telling you what black is. His black shoe, describing that, saying it in Latin.
Yeah.
Calling it Negro, saying, he said something, don't be something, I'm just calling you dead. So he knows. He just plays all these, spot here, spot here, spot here, spot here. And if you put everything together after over the years, you can see that he kind of sort of did tell you. But, kind of sort of don't work.
Yeah, it needs to be upfront now. Kind of sort of was for like when John Henry Clark said the nationality and whatever. Slide it in there. Try to tell the story. Because it's hard, because these people don't want our people to wake up and all that. But now, damn, all these opportunities for people to hear us talk, and you're one of the highest people out here. Everybody knows you. But you're not going to come out. But maybe that's why. Maybe because when you big time people start talking about the Moors, they destroy you. And you want that fame and nobility. Might not be jealous of it, but you want to keep that fame and nobility. Let me get it. Not mad at you. You should just be able to tell the people about their birthright, though, instead of playing around with them. Degrading active Moors. Islam, Canaanland Moors. Give thanks for all that you do and continue to do. What would we call this type of behavior? On one hand, you have a Moor who continues to uplift an organization, NOI, that infiltrated and hijacked nationality, being at the forefront. Furthermore, anytime a Moor does something, this particular Moor bashes them all in the guise of help. Again, we would like for you to address how some only want to monetize on nationality, knowing that it cannot be bought or transferred. Give thanks and supreme honors. Well, like we said, we have a certain foundation. Our foundation is people like Grand Sheik Nature and these people. And we were told a long time ago that this is people's birthright. It's not something that you can hold over them to use for you to get whatever you think you can get from this, because you know something more than someone. And we're not talking about people who write books or whatever like that. We're talking about people who say, 800 for a package or 5,000 for papers or charter 900 or whatever. That's just part of the sellout. How I look at it. Because if you're trying to monetize off the birthright, now again, we're not talking about people who have products to sell or whatever, right? But if you just have the birthright, like let's say, you have some finance and you're able to get a business going or whatever. If you're getting this business going isn't just for Moors only to get from this business. Like, it's not just Moors only. It's not just Moors only. You're looking to serve the world. You're looking to serve the world. So as soon as you get these Moors playing around like monetize the birthright, put a price tag on dumb stuff that just supposed to be yours. You know, like there's Moors telling me that, yeah, they talk with a Moor, and then after they had the conversation, Moors hit them with a bill. Like, what do you mean a bill? Well, I just consulted with you. Put finance on that. Right? That's some BS. Because if you're that much in the knowledge and somebody needs some info for whatever they need info for, you should just be able to rattle it off. You go checking anything if you're the man. You know, so you're supposed to give them references. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, there's references. There you go. You go study. Right, and then as far as the same thing with the uplifting the NOI, it's like people are gonna do what they do. You know what I mean? Just like I'm with Noble Drew Ali. He said we're not Negro black colored. So anybody who said that they're with some Negro black colored or Ethiopian or whatever, I'm not taking them serious. We might talk. We might have some conversation. We might, see each other somewhere, but I'm not taking you serious. Because I already know Negro black colored or Ethiopian is not free national. That's just tags. They're just brands. Nothing to do with a true identity. Because we know they jacked everything that Noble Drew Ali had, and they just changed the sign. If you check and you see that NOI had certain property or whatever like that in 1930, trust me, it was Moorish Science temples, and they took the sign down and put up the NOI sign or the Temple of Islam sign. Trust me. Islam, were you still yielded?
I'm still here, more Islam.
Islam.
If that's what they did, the no Majid mentions 120,000 members was taken in 1930 and started the NOI. 120,000 members. That's the only way you can do that is by taking the sign off the door and just putting up a new sign. Right. How you just start off with 120,000 members? No internet, no nothing. You can't even get 120,000 subscribers in one day. This is all word of mouth. No internet, no nothing. And you started off with 120,000.
One day.
Right.
One day.
Right. Yeah. Right.
120,000.
No internet.
120,000.
busy partying and everything too back then. Remember Harlem Nights and all of that? All they was doing was partying. All these people was partying. Had all these bars and numbers and all of that. You didn't start off with no 120,000 members in one day. There was too much going on. And people were still chasing Jesus.
So many people missing over Drawley because they were looking for Jesus.
Yep.
Missing over Drawley. They're looking for Jesus.
Yep. I'll be in this teacher. Teach me now. Another thing that a lot of the so-called leading people in the community ignore. That a lot of their so-called leaders, their teachers, was Moorish. And they still push the black stuff crap. Grand Street, you know that video you got of the elder with the flag out the pickup truck?
Yeah.
You know, somebody sent me a link. Because they have on Facebook. I don't have it or whatnot, but they sent me from their Facebook. They done took your video, and above it says "Black guy stands up for his rights." How? How is this black guy stands up? Like, come on, man.
They're trying, they're trying.
And I know whoever did it was somebody who knows that we're not black. Whoever did that is somebody who knows that we're not black, because they got it from your channel. They had to get it from your channel.
Crazy.
Black guy. I say, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this question, just for somebody that called it, that sent an email. Why do you think it's so hard to use a free national name, and why do they want us to be the straw so much?
That's a beautiful question, and because Nietzsche touched on it, you know, like a little bit of everything because like a Grand Chief said, Nietzsche got you on it right now. Everything I do right now, that's what Grand Chief Nietzsche said the other day. But just the power, okay, our free national name is everything. It's everything in the world. There's so much power, or there's so much force behind us having our free national names. Because, like even in law, when you look up the word Moor, a Moor is worth 100 ballads. You know what I mean? So, like, I remember Nature was going in on the people who voted back in the day. Yeah. And the Prophet had 3,000 members that voted. And how, you know, they was getting people in position of seats because they had 3,000 people who voted. But then I thought of the definition, and I was like, well, if it was 3,000 people, if a Moor is worth $100, that's actually 300,000 people. So now that's different. You know what I mean? And he broke down, like another example in the power of our free national name is, you know, the power of us, you know, voting in our free national names. You know, like they can't alter the register cards or whatnot because it's a free national names. Yeah. And we voting in 14th, 15th Amendment, you know, European names, they're going to alter that all day because that's their property. You know, and like he was like the stuff that he, like the power, like, and that's just on, you know, on a mundane level. Esoterically, these Europeans also know the power of us having our free national names You know, like they also know, like, you know, they know that when we put on our free national name, that we in tune with our ancestors. They know that. They know that we not dealing with, oh, some guy coming out of the sky type stuff. They know that our ancestors dealt with witchcraft, sorcery, you know, magic and stuff like that. They don't nobody want to be dreaming of ancient Moors and they dream having nightmares because they done did something to a Moor they wasn't supposed to do. Like you're not getting that when you're black. Like your history started in the slave ship.
Yeah.
That's the esoteric side behind it. Because now you're tying yourself back to the human family, back to your forefathers and foremothers, back to your culture. Like you tied yourself back to blood, consanguinity, you know, back to, I remember Brother Hannibal was speaking about Moors having galactic treaties. You know what I mean? Like we still, you know, we got to figure out what's on planet Earth first, but, you know, after this, we got stuff beyond this. But being black, Negro colored, you still worry about reparations and slavery.
Yeah.
When you become a Moor, you talking about Atlantis, galactic trees, and
what is an African American woman?
Yeah.
You know, ancient machineries that we had back in the day. That all that stuff it ties back to us. You know what I mean? We've been on. But once you put yourself back to Negro colored black, your history is getting caught in nets coming over on slave ships. But once you tie yourself back to your bloodline, you're back to a vast history. A vast history. It's incredible. And also, you know, the world knows that you woke up and became who you were. Because once you put that fez on and you start walking around being who you are, the world recognizes who you are. You're gonna have people coming up to you, giving you the craziest stories in the world. You have the craziest instances. I'm pretty sure there's more in the chat that got 10 stories for you right now because they wore their fez in there.
Yep.
That's a fact. There's more. I know there is. I done told so many. Grand Sheik done told many. There's so much stuff that happens when you even before even people tell you who you are when you get your fez. I mean, you know, give you compliments about you and your fez. The moment you get your fez, that moment you feel it. Then that's a whole different, totally thing when you put your fez on and stuff like that, and you know who you are and you stay. That's a whole different thing. Whole totally different thing. And that's the esoteric side, you know. But mundanely, that list goes on forever too. You know, you don't want to be doing business in another man's name. We know that we're not no Smith, Jones, and Johnson. Like you know that. You know that slave master's name, like so-called slave master's name. You can't be Smith, Jones, and Johnson. Like, first of all, that's a lie. You're just lying. That's a lie. That's not the truth. That's not who you are, period. You can't be that. Like, you can't, like, so the question is, like, kind of colored. Like, because if you're not being a Moor, you're being a lie because you're a Moor. The only other thing you can be doing is lying. Like, because we're Moors. If you're doing something else than that, that's a lie. That wouldn't be the truth. That's not divine. That's not what being a Moor is about. You know, we can go on and on for the examples of having you. That's the most. That's a beautiful thing to have your free national name. I remember a quick example of working. You know, they would call me at work by my straw, and I was with a customer one day, and he was like, he comes up to me and he calls me by my straw and says, he calls me by my straw and asks me what's my name, and I looked at him like, kind of like, he goes, yeah, like, what's your name? And I was like, oh, well, I'm Yusuf. He was like, oh, Yusuf. That's beautiful, man. Like, don't let nobody call you that. Like, why? And he says, my straw. He's like, don't let nobody call you that. Like, just be Yusuf. Why can't you just be Yusuf? And then what was crazy was, only reason why I can't be who I was because I was working for my own. Literally, my cousin, who was like, you're not going to be that in here. And look at me, right? Wow. Tell you how this worked. I'm walking into the store right now. Cousin I'm talking about in the store. I'm looking at her. That's how that works. But that's the one I'm going to tell you every time. No, you're going to work in your straw.
Shit.
But the power of you working in your free national was amazing. It's people, and it was a European that told me that I should just be going by who I really am. Don't go by your fake name. That's not. And he even acknowledged it. That's fake. So the Europeans, they know. Like when they see us in our turban and feathers, you not know Smith, Jones, and Johnson. Like what's that? You know who you are.
Straight.
Islam, Grand Sheik.
Islam. Just want to make one plug before we close out. Make one plug before we close out. Spoke with this more today. So make sure you do your little support. There's more out here putting in that work. The magic gems, copper work, organ work, etc. Make sure you get your orgonite, especially for these phones and stuff going on right now. Instead of that little thing to put your fingers on for the back of the phone, just get a big orgonite slab and just glue that on the back of the phone. Protect yourself. Dangerous out here. Islam to all the Moors everywhere you're at. Peace and love to all. Peace and love to all. Oh yeah. Got something.
What does an African American woman look like? Like me?
No, but there's no such thing as an African American woman. They made that up.
Okay, so we're all Africans.
They are American. They were born here. They're American, but they're dumb, and so they're calling themselves African Americans.
Don't fall for the trap. Don't fall for the trap. Don't forget Blog Talk Radio, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. MHHS Eyes Wide Open on blogtalkradio.com. Call-in number 319-527-6751. 319-527-6751 and 425-569-5201. 425-569-5201. Let's quickly get our brother back on the line.
I don't know what happened.
Joe, you know what happened. You know what happened. You know what happened. Like that. I just wanted to bring you back on so we could do this one. You sent me a couple emails. I forgot about these. Yep. So let's talk about this one. So first one, more. Morris, Middle French, Middle English, Moor, probably of Berber origin.
There it is.
1. A member of a dark-skinned people of mixed Arab and Berber ancestry inhabiting ancient Mauritania in North Africa and conquering Spain in the 8th century AD. Moroccan, Berber, Muslim, Moorman, Moorman, Moorman. Compare Moro, archaic blackamoor, one of a group of people of mixed Indian, white, and Negro ancestry in central Delaware. Compare Nanticoke. 4. A goldfish similar to the fringe tail but velvety black. Moor, Middle English Morin, akin to Old English Morels. Rap, ship's rope. Middle Dutch Marin, Marin to tie, Moor. Strap, thong. Old High German Marawen, to tie together, connect.
Yeah, the whole definition is amazing. First of all, off rip it says of Berber origin. I thought they said it was Greek. They tell you it's Greek.
Got him there.
Every word is the witness that right there is of Berber origin, and we know because we did it already. When you go to Google and you type in Berber and you in Arabic translation, it means more. Berber in English just means more. It's just Berber is an Arabic word for more. So it's more is a Moorish language. It's a Moorish language. It's not Greek. And then it goes in with Nanacoke. I thought the Nanacokes they call themselves Indians. And by definition, they're Moors.
They know that they're not Los Indians.
And then we talking about the Delaware Moors. They even mention the Delaware Moors in the dictionary. It's not like the Moors aren't here. The Moors were here. Webster even knows. That's an old Webster's dictionary. Now I found. Webster knows. The Moors were in it's not hidden. It's just people are just lying.
That's all. People are lying.
People are just lying.
Openly.
And then really have us making us think like we crazy. Like, you believe those lies? And I'm like, like, how you write that? Like the dude just told you Library of Congress, dictionary, article such and such, and you're sitting here talking about you believe those lies? Like, what do you mean? Like, how? The dude's reading dictionaries and congressional records and stuff like that. Stuff that authors wrote before we were born, 200 years before we were born, talking about Moors, dark skin, you know what I mean? Art and cult of civilization. These people these days talk about like it's Pale Arab and like Europeans now making videos like they were the Moors, like y'all the Moors. Like what are y'all talking about?
Islam. And let me put this out there too, boy. Remember we were talking about this earlier? Hear this one. You could let her know that Khalifa, you could let her know that Canaanland sent you. But Mother Khalifa has some Black's Law dictionaries for sale. So you could contact her at Moore's Law Dictionaries and check it out. MAURS. Now she just texted me this right now. Right? Right, 617. 617. She sent this on WhatsApp. and I'm just opening the WhatsApp thing now. There's like
Oh
15
my
messages.
goodness. That means it was
15
even
messages.
closer.
15 messages in there that I didn't check. And hers, and she sent a message, you know, oh, there's a lot more. I have several Black's Law dictionaries for sale. If you could let the Moors know, I'd greatly appreciate it. They could contact me at Moors Law Dictionaries, MAURS, Law Dictionaries at gmail.com.
Unbelievable.
And just tell them that you heard it on Canaanland Moors class, and, you know, just so if you want your dictionaries, Moors, there you go. Because I heard Moors talking crazy about some crazy stuff, 200 and madness online. So hit up the mother quick fast. Get your dictionaries. Moors Law Dictionaries at gmail.com. Just like how I'm telling you on the strength, yo, just support and get dictionaries. Whenever you hear that there's more selling dictionaries, who cares where they got them? Who cares what? If once the price doesn't kill you, support and pick up the dictionary, because trust me, it's going to serve a purpose.
Yeah.
Right? And on the strength, go check it. Just like on the strength, Grand Sheik used his strength power, said, hey, we got some of Cujo's books right here, or whatever. Books fell off the shelf like in 2 seconds. I never sell that many books that fast. Never. Never.
Yep.
Just on the Grand Sheik strength. Just on the strength, the book got supported. So we're sending the energy back, but we don't want it. We're giving it to somebody else. Mother has the books. Go support, get your book, and also go support, get your organ so you can protect yourself. Magic gems. Support. And no more daily merchandise. No more daily merchandise. Look fresh for these people. Telling them what's up about Moors. Putting them on. You don't even have to talk. Just walk by them and give them knowledge. Just walk by, give them knowledge. Peace and love to all the Moors. Don't forget 9:30, Blog Talk Radio. The mothers going in tonight, as usual. You got any closing out comments, more?
Islam to the, give honors to the Prophet, give thanks to the Moors in the chat, give thanks Grand Sheik.
Islam, more. Thank you to all the Moors worldwide. Peace and love to all.
Yeah.
Peace and love to all.
Oh, Islam, Grand Sheik.
Oh, Islam, more.
Oh, no, maybe next time you want to do the numerology and stuff.
Oh, yeah. We can start with that for the next one.
Yeah. Since you all that.
Yeah.
And that Llewellyn J. Hall to show the so-called Negro dynasties in the Moroccan Empire, 788 to 1790. She listed all the dynasties. You gotta show them that. It's crazy. Time's going so fast, man.
Warp speed, yo. Warp speed. Warp speed. Peace and love to all. Honors to Allah. Honors to the Prophet Noble Jew Ali. Honors to everybody in attendance. Honors to all the Moors who are being industrious and using their industrial minds. Or industrious minds, rather. Peace and love to all Moors. Islam.